Today we're focusing on a function table, actually a two-function table, where you have corresponding terms. Now what this really means is imagine you have a two-function table. Usually the patterns are going this way. And then on top of that, you need to look at numbers and the patterns going this way. So it's like having two function tables layered on top of each other. You have a two-function table and you have an in and out table all combined. So let's start with what we know. Let's focus on these set of numbers as a two-rule table. We're going to look at our red numbers, we're going to look at our blue numbers, and we're going to figure out the rule that follows both. Now let's start with the red. If we are going this way, you got to think, are my numbers increasing or decreasing? They are going up. So I'm going to ask myself, am I using multiplication or addition? That's always the first thing I'm going to think about. And 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, that works. But is 4 times 2 6? Nope, that can't work. So let's think about addition. 2 plus 2 was 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. And 6 plus 2 is 8. So that works. So for rule A, I need to tell where it starts. It starts at the number 2, and each time my x numbers are increasing by 2. So I have my first rule, I have my rule A. Then I need to look at my rule B, my blue numbers. Once again, looking there from here to here, here to here, and here to here. Are my numbers going up or are they going down? They seem to be going up, so I'm asking myself the same thing. I'm either going to be multiplying or adding. Well, 6 times 2 gives me 12, but 12 times 2 does not give me 18. That doesn't work. I go to the next one. I say, okay, well, 6 plus 6 gets me 12. 12 plus 6 gets me 18, and 18 plus 6 gets me 24. So I've figured out my next rule, my y rules. I've figured out that I'm starting at 6, and my y numbers are increasing by 6 each time. Now here's my new word of the day, my corresponding terms. What's that saying is, what do, and I'll change to a different color, what do these numbers have in common? These numbers. Can we come up with a rule for the dark blue? Well, think about it as a washing machine, or it's going into 2, it's coming out of 6. My number's getting bigger. It's going into 4, coming out of 12. It's going in a 6, it's coming out of 18. It's going in an 8 and coming out of 24. So my numbers are getting bigger. I always start with addition if I can. 2 plus 4 is 6, but 4 plus 4 is not 12. So what can I multiply that by? I say, okay, well, 2 times 3 is 6. 4 times 3 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. 8 times 3 is 24. So I found my corresponding. I know that whenever I have an x, if I multiply it by 3, I'm going to get my y. Or I can work backwards. If I have a y, I could divide by 3 and get my x term. Try this one. Remember, or look at this table. It's a little bit easier. I want you to look at your red numbers. Look at your blue numbers. See if you can figure out your rule A and rule B. And then we're going to go back and look at our corresponding. So pause the video and see if you can kind of make sense of it. Okay, from here to here, my numbers are going up. 1 times 3 is 3, but 3 times 3 is not 5. Times won't work. Let's try addition. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 plus 2 is 7, and 7 plus 2 is 9. So I figured out my rule A. It is start at 1, and my x numbers are going to increase by 2 each time. I'm going to look at my rule B, my y numbers. 2 times 2 is 4, but 4 times 2 is not 6. That doesn't work. Let's try to add. 2 plus 2 is 4. Yes, 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 plus 2 is 10. So I figured out my next rule. I figured out my rule B, which is start at 2. And my y numbers are increasing by 2 also each time. Now I got to figure out my corresponding terms. Let's do a different color. It's easier to see. If I'm going from here to here, 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 what's happening to my numbers? Well, going from a 1 to 2, a 3 to a 4, a 5 to a 6, a 7 to an 8, a 9 to a 10. To get my y numbers, I need to have my x and add 1 to it. Or, some people like to go the other way. If I'm trying to go from my y numbers to my x, I do y minus 1 equals x. And that's how you do a 3-function table or a 2-function table with corresponding terms. Remember, after you're done with this, you can plot all your points on a coordinate plane if you wanted to. The circled numbers, that's your x, that's your y. Your x goes first on the x-axis, then you plot your y. And also, as always, don't forget to like and follow. Thanks for watching the video. Come back for the next one.